Hello people, I hope you guys are doing well and welcome back to our Atomic Habits fourth part. If I start with the title is like the best way to start a new habit. In 2001, researchers in Great Britain began working with 248 people to build better exercise habits over the course of 2 weeks. The subjects were divided into 3 groups. The first group was the control group. They were simply asked to track how often they exercise. The second group was the motivation. They were asked to not only track their workouts but also read some materials on the benefits of exercise. The researchers also explained to the group how exercise could reduce the risk of coronary heart disease and heart health. Finally, there was the third group. These subjects received the same presentation as the second group, which ensured that they had equal levels of motivation. However, they were also asked to formulate a plan for when and where they would exercise over the following week. Especially each members of the third group completed the following sentence. During the next week, I will partake in at least 20 minutes of vigorous exercise on day at time. In the first and second groups, 35 to 38 exercise at least once per week. Interestingly, the motivational presentation given to the second group seemed to have no meaningful impact on behavior, but 91% of the third group exercised at least once per week, more than double the normal rate. The sentence they filled out is what researchers referred as an implementation, which is a plan you make beforehand about when and where to act. That is how you intend to implement a particular habit. The cues that can trigger a habit come in a wide range of forms: that feel of your phone buzzing in your pocket, the smell of chocolate chip cookies, the sound of ambulance sirens. But the two most common cues are time and location. Implementation intentions leverage both of these cues, and that's true. Broadly speaking, the format for creating an implementation intention is: when situation X arises, I will perform response Y. Hundreds of studies have shown that implementation intentions are effective for sticking to our goals. Whether it's writing down the exact time and date of when you will get a flu shot or recording the time of your colonoscopy appointment, they increase the odds that people will stick with habits like recycling, studying, going to sleep early, and stop smoking. Researchers have even found that voters' turnout increases when people are forced to create intentions by answering questions like: what route are you talking to the polling station? At what time are you planning to go? What bus will get you there? Other successful government programs have prompted citizens to make a clear plan to send taxes in on time, or provide directions or where to pay late traffic bills. The punchline is clear. People who make a specific plan for when and where they will perform a new habit are more likely to follow through. Too many people try to change their habits without this basic detail. We tell ourselves, I'm going to eat healthier, or I'm going to write more, but we never say when and where these habits are going to happen. We leave it up to chance and hope that we will just remember to do it or feel motivated at the right time. An implementation intention sweeps away foggy notions like: I want to work out, or I want to be more productive, or I should vote, and transform the concerned plan of action. And that's true. I mean, if I like, I'm actually following. I tell you an example of mine. Today I was, for every week I have to shoot a face cam. Is that, I don't know, is that what you said? And unfortunately, like today, like this week, I wasn't able to do it. But the thing is that I make a habit. I will do whatever. Like I'm gonna do something in those 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. It's my like the holiday, kind of like a holiday going, like a day off, you could say. Even if I didn't make that face cam video, I will make something else. I will record a book that I was just, I'm recording right now, explaining about the book, and I will put more effort on it. I will put that effort that I was gonna put it on that video that I wasn't able to make it, but I'm gonna put that effort on that on the video. I'm gonna put more effort on it. You guys have more fun. You guys have more clear understanding that what I'm saying, and you guys can take that action that what I'm saying. So this is how the habit works. You just feel so bad. You're just gonna feel so bad if you do that. Like when you don't brush, like one day you didn't brush, but you will feel so bad. Like I missed something. Like I used to do that shit every day, but why didn't I do it? That's how you're gonna feel like it. You have to make that thing. You have to make that way. You're gonna keep doing it until you have that feeling. So I want you guys. It's very easy. Just try for. I try for like it's been like 3 weeks. I would say like weeks. Yeah. So I'm doing it. So I'm following that routine at least once a week face cam video. For you guys, or like at least twice. I'm a lack on that thing, like twice, to make this talking kind of like explanation type video with a text. But yeah, I mean, at least I'm on something. At least I'm on that once a week type of video. I'm continuing this journey. I hope it will prove day by day, and I'm working on it. Yeah. Many people think they lack motivation when they really lack is clarity. It's not always obvious when and where to take action. Some people spend their entire lives waiting for the right time to be right to make an improvement. Once an implementation intention has been set, you don't have to wait for inspiration to strike. Do I write a chapter today or not? Do I meditate this morning or at lunch? When the moment of action occurs, there is no need to make decisions. Simply follow your predetermined plan. And that's true. I mean, that's the thing that I was saying. I wasn't able to make that face cam type of video, but I have something else, but I was gonna do it. That is the thing. That is a plan that I have. I will not stop it. I'm gonna do something, at least something. And that is the thing. You don't have to make the decisions like, oh, it's not the right time that I'm not feeling. It's not the good time I'm not feeling. Okay, I wasn't able to make that thing today, but it's fine. I'm gonna try something else. Like the situation that I'm at. How would I use that time? What's the best thing I could make in that situation, instead of thinking like, okay, this is not a right situation. And that's the problem that most of us have, that we wait for the perfect things to happen. We're not using the right thing the right time. Okay, like today I'm kind of feeling lazy, or I have a lot of things to do, or I have these things to do. So let's just make something that I'm feeling right now, like something that I think it's gonna be comfortable for. It's gonna make me happy. I don't have to feel that stress that I have to go. It's not always happens. Maybe that today you have a work, you have a lot of things to go on. That's why you're kind of feel like that. Maybe next week you're not gonna feel that way. You're gonna make even better videos. If you aren't sure when to start your habit, try the first day of the week, month, or year. People are more likely to take action at those times because hope is usually higher. If we have hope, we have a reason to take action. A fresh start feels motivating. There is another benefit to implementation in being specific about what you want and how will you achieve it. Helps you to say no to things that derail progress, distract your attention, and pull you off course. We often say yes to little requests because we're not clear enough about what we need to be instead. When your dreams are vague, it's easy to rationalize little expectations all day long and never get around to the specific things you need to do to succeed. Give your habits a time and a space to live in the world. The goal is to make the time and location so obvious that with enough repetition, you get an urge to do the right thing at the right time, even if you can't stay why. As the writer Jason Zwing noted, obviously you're never going to just work out without conscious thoughts. But like a dog salivating at a bell, maybe you start to get antsy around the time of the day you normally work out. There are many ways to use implementation intentions in your life and work. My favorite approach is one I learned in Stanford University, Professor B.J. Fogg, and it's a strategy I refer to as a habit stacking. Whoa, that's gonna be an exciting part. Habit stacking, a simple plan to overhaul your habits. The French philosopher Denis Diderot lived nearly his entire life in poverty. But that all changed one day in 1765. Diderot's daughter was about to marry, and he could not afford to pay for the wedding. Despite his lack of wealth, Diderot was well known for his role as the co-founder and writer of Encyclopedia, one of the most comprehensive encyclopedias of the time. When Catherine the Great, the Empress of Russia, heard of Diderot's financial troubles, her heart went out to him. She was a book lover and greatly enjoyed his encyclopedia. She offered to buy Diderot's personal library for 1,000 euros, more than $150,000. Fuck, that's a lot. Suddenly, Diderot had money to spare. With his new wealth, he not only paid for the wedding but also acquired a scarlet robe for himself. Diderot's scarlet robe was beautiful, so beautiful in fact that he immediately noticed how out of place it seemed when it's surrounded by more common possessions. He wrote that there was no more coordination, no more unity, no more beauty between his elegant robe and his rest of stuff. Diderot soon felt the urge to upgrade his possessions. He replaced his rug with one from Damascus. He decorated his home with expensive sculpture. He bought a mirror to place above the mantel and a better kitchen table. He tossed aside his old straw chair for a leather one. Like falling dominions, one purchased led to the next. Diderot's behavior is not uncommon. In fact, the tendency for one purchase to lead to another one has a name: Diderot's effect. The Diderot effect states that obtaining a new possessions often creates a spiral of consumption that leads to additional purchase. You can spot this pattern everywhere. You buy a dress and have to get a new shoe and earnings to match. Damn. You buy a couch and suddenly question the layout of entire living room. You buy a toy for your child as soon as find yourself purchasing all of the accessories go with it. It's a chain reaction of purchase. Many humans' behavior follow the cycle. You often decide what you do next based on what you have just finished doing. Going to the bathroom leads to the washing and dyeing your hair, which reminds that you need to put the dirty towels in the laundry, so you add a laundry detergent to the shopping list, and so on. No behavior happens in isolation. Each action becomes a cue that triggers the next behavior. So that's actually interesting, I learned. I mean, this is called the Diderot. I mean, if you buy something, we gotta buy with that. Like, that triggers you. So this is actually called the Diderot. I mean, that's interesting. So this is one of the things we learn. I mean, this is for me. I never heard of Diderot. We could talk about it on any other video, what is actually a Diderot. But we have already explained. Why is this important? When it comes to building new habit, you can use the connectedness of behavior to your advantage. One of the best ways to build a new habit is to identify a current habit you already do each day and then stack your new behavior on the top. This is called habit stacking. And that's true. You know, habit stacking, it's gonna have some factor. Let's say you like brushing habit. You can do something while you brush it. At least you're watching in the paper, like the newspaper. So that can become a habit. You know, it's stacking with it. Like when you brush your teeth, another behavior you have to watch that. Habit stacking is a special form of implementation intention. Rather than pairing your new habit with a particular time and location, you pair with it with a current habit. This method, which is created by B.J. Fogg as of the Tiny Habits program, can be used to design an obvious cue for nearly any habit. The key is to tie your desired behavior into something you already do each day. Once you have mastered this basic structure, you can begin to create larger stacks by chaining small habits together. These allows you to take advantage of the natural momentum outcomes from the behavior leading into the next, a positive version of the Diderot effect. Your morning routine habit stack might like this. After 1 hour, my morning cup of coffee, I will meditate for 60 seconds. After I meditate for 60 seconds, I will write my to-do list for the day. After I write my to-do list of the day, I will immediately begin my first task, or consider this habit stacking in the evening. After I finishing eating dinner, I will put my plate directly into the dishwasher. After I put my dishes away, I will immediately wipe down the counter. After I wipe down the counter, I will set out my coffee for the tomorrow morning. You can also insert new behavior into the middle of your current routines. For example, you may already have a morning routine that looks like this. Woke up, make my bed, take a shower. Let's say you want to develop that habit of reading more each night. You can expand your habit stack by trying something like woke up, make my bed, place a book on my pillow, take a shower. Now, when you climb into the bed each night, a book will sitting free waiting for you to enjoy. Overall, habit stacking allows you to create a set of simple rules that guide your future behavior. It's like you always have a game plan for which action should come next. Once you get comfortable with this approach, you can develop general habit stacking to guide you whenever the situation is appropriate. Exercise when I see a set of streets. I will take them instead of using the elevator. Social skill. When I walk into a party, I will introduce myself to someone I don't know yet. Finance. When I want to buy something over 100, I will wait 24 hours before purchasing. Healthy eating. When I serve myself a meal, I will always put a veggies on my plate first. Minimalism. When I buy a new item, I will give one in. Mood. When the phone rings, I will take one deep breath, smile before answering. Okay, that's actually cool. Forgetfulness. When I leave a public place, I will check the table, sure I don't leave anything behind. No matter how you use this strategy, the secret is to create a successful habit stack is selecting the right cue to kick things off. Unlike an implementation intention, which specifically states the name and location for a given behavior, habit stacking implicitly has the time and location built into it. When and where you choose to insert a habit into your daily routine can make a big difference. If you are trying to add meditation into your morning routine, but mornings are chaotic and your kids keep running into the room, then that may be wrong place and time. Consider when you are most likely to be successful. Don't ask yourself to do a habit when you're likely to be occupied with something else. Your cue should have the same frequency as your desired habit. If you want to do a habit every day, but you stick it to the habit that only happens on Mondays, that's not a good choice. One way to find the right trigger for your habit stack is by brainstorming a list of your current habits. You can use your habit score card from the last chapter as a starting point. Alternatively, you can create a list with 2 columns. In the first column, write down the habits you do each day without fail. For example, get out of the bed, start the work day, take a shower, brush your teeth, get dressed, brew a cup of coffee, eat breakfast, take the kids to school. Your list can be much longer, but you can get the idea in the second column. Write down all the things that happen to you each day without fail. For example, the sun rises, you get a text message, the song you are listening to ends, the sun sets. Armed with this tool list, you can begin searching for the best place to layer your new habit in your lifestyle. Habit stacking works best when the cues is highly specific and immediately actionable. Many people select cues that are too vague. I made this mistake myself. When I wanted to start push-up habit on my habit stack was when I take a break for lunch. I will do 10 push-ups. At first glance, this sounded reasonable. Soon I realized the trigger was unclear. Would I do my push-ups before I ate lunch? After I ate lunch? What should I do then? After a few inconsistent days, I changed my habit stack to when I close my laptop for lunch, I will do 10 push ups next to my desk. Ambiguity gone. Habits like read more or eat better are worthy causes, but these goals do not provide instruction on how and when to act. Be specific and clear. After I close the door, after I brush my teeth, after I sit down at the table, the specificity is important. The more tightly bound your new habit is to a specific cue, the better the odds are that you will notice when the time comes to act. The first law of behavior change is to make it obvious. Strategies like implementation, intentions, and habit stacking are among the most practical ways to create obvious cues for you. Your habits and design a clear plan for when and where to take action.